Alright then, load up. This is gonna get dicey, but do what I say, and we'll get through it.
We won't let you down.
Follow my signal.
Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to the tavern. And this is going to be a new series on you New Light players. This is going to be a full, basically, rundown of what you guys should be doing and what will help you level up as fast as possible. All right. Without further ado, get into the gameplay. All right, so obviously for this part, you're going to teach you basically how to play the game. So, here you're going to learn how to sprint, you're going to learn how to jump. So it's basically going to go through everything, obviously, on how to play the game, right? Now, there are a few things that I suggest for as far as your key bindings, whether it be for controller or for mouse and keyboard. I suggest finding what works best for you. I know a lot of people will tell you that, but I mean, really, this is a fast-paced game. And me personally, I use key bindings that I used in other games. One suggestion I would add is if you are a Titan, Hunter, Warlock, whichever class you would like to pick, I would suggest putting your jump on your scroll wheel as well as your space bar. Now, as you can see, jumping, I can glide, right? If I have it on my scroll wheel up, I get a little bit of boost of momentum. Mobility is a big thing in this game. One thing I'd also make sure too is your DPI in your sensitivity for MNK, and then sensitivity just for your controller players on what feels best. You can manipulate without ADSing and with ADSing. So you want to find exactly what will feel right for you. You could take other games that you played before, or you can try new settings on this one. So see how it says press Q? That's for me. Press Q to do your melee attack, for a charge melee attack. Now you're able to put your melee attack is either uncharged, like I just did, or charged, like so. Now you can also put them together to where one button does it all. Now for controller, I know you don't have a whole lot of options. There are a few ways you can get around to having an uncharged and charged melee, but it's all up to you and preference on how you want to play. For the mouse and keyboard players, I suggest switching it up and making it two separate inputs. For me, I like to use E for my uncharge and Q for my charge. It's what's worked for me, and I feel it works really well. Of course, it is up to you on what key bindings you want, but it does help having an uncharged and charged melee inputs. The next thing is, as you can see, is your super ability. For your super ability, I highly suggest making it a input that you're not going to accidentally hit while you're in combat. Me, I have it, as you can see, as C. I can either hit it with my thumb from my spacebar, or I can reach down with my index finger. And again, for the controller players, majority of the time, it is going to have two buttons that you have to click at the same time. For, I believe, PlayStation 5 and for Xbox, it is both bumpers at the same time. You can change it however you like. You can have it one button if possible, but I suggest making it something where you're not accidentally going to press it. As you can see, as they're talking about guardian abilities, the cooldowns for everything is determined by your stats. Now, for your melee ability, obviously it's going to be your strength. For your super, it's going to be your intellect. For your discipline, which is your grenade, recovery is obviously how fast you recover with your health. Resiliency, as I am a Titan, resiliency is going to be one of the bigger stats that I am going to want to put my points toward, or my modifications, and I'll get into that later. Because the class ability for the Titan is directly tied to resilience. Now for Warlock, it's recovery, and for Hunter, it is for mobility. Mobility is for your jump height and your movement speed. Now for switching weapons, I do a little differently. Some people like to have it on your scroll wheel. Some people like to keep it to the numbers 1, 2, 3 for your primary, your secondary, and if you had a heavy, which we'll be getting shortly, you switch to your heavy. Me personally, I like to use my alt key, which is right next to my spacebar. I slide my thumb over and I switch it over. Now, to get to my heavy weapon, I would hold it down. Obviously, I don't have it yet, so when I do get it, I'll show you what that looks like. One thing I did not cover yet was sliding and crouching. Now, of course, it is all under preference. If your mouse has a few buttons on it, mine has about 5. I like to put crouch on my mouse. It makes it easier for me to slide and aim at the same time. Controller, yours, you could be however you want and whatever makes it comfortable for you. Obviously, for a simple slide, you're in a sprint and you're going to press the crouch button and you can get right back up by sprinting again. This is your ghost, your friendly neighborhood ghost. Now, depending on your key binding, obviously pulling him out will show this. It'll show you what your objective is, where you need to go, and any type of things you are tracking as far as any bounties or seasonal type stuff on the right hand side, as you see there. And then on the bottom, you can see you can return to orbit if you would like, or you press tab again, or whatever your button is, to go to the directory, which will look like this. It'll be the map, your destinations, so the planets. You can go to your quests, the season. I know I see that I'm a little bit higher of the rank. I just want to start a new character and show you the rundown of what you should be doing to get directly into the game and learning everything. And of course, you got your store, which you can buy things for bright dust or silver. And of course, your friends list. Now, most of the type of events are self-explanatory. It tells you to defend the area or a perimeter, so to speak. So right now, I'm just having to defend. Now, what I just did here was I placed a Titan barricade, or my ability. Now, you can make your ability whatever you want it to be. It could be any input you would want, just like every other thing. For my M&K players, for me personally, I would do it on my scroll wheel. Scroll wheel down. That is where I have mine at. So you're going to be going through the storyline for a little while. Basically, you're just be going through the steps until you get to a certain point where you will actually be doing the storyline itself or other activities. The other activities are as such. When you open up your directory, go to the stations, you'll have Vanguard for your Vanguard operations. This is your PvE. And within, you have your Vanguard Ops, your Nightfalls, which are a little bit harder, and then your Grandmasters, which that is far later down the road. You have Gambit, which is a mix between PvE and PvP. And then, of course, you have your Crucible, which is your PvP directly. As you can see, I picked up what is called an arc charge. In some activities, you will have to pick up certain items to activate something or deactivate something. In this case, I have to pick up these charges, deposit them into this to disable the shield. Destiny has a lot of puzzle type events or activities. You'll have to figure out what to do to get to the next step or get to the next part of the map or level. You will find this a lot in raids. We will cover raids in a different video, but I just want to make you aware of what could come or what will come in the future. This is big right here, fast travel. See that we were way up here somewhere. We're right there, right? So we can either go to this landing zone or we can come back down here where we have to talk to Shaw. As you can see on the map, it is kind of illuminating or vibrating, really, if you will, however you want to describe it. And it's telling you that, hey, this is someone you need to go see. This is the active activity that you're doing right now, or quest. This is called a public event. It's something you were optionally able to do, but I advise doing them, especially in the beginning. It will give you loot. It will give you glimmer, which is one of the currencies in this game, and it'll give you overall experience in those puzzle type activities. So to fast travel, you're simply just going to hold whatever button it tells you to hold, and you'll be teleported there. Now, on every destination or planet, you will have a character like Han himself that will give you bounties. Now, these bounties have a task involved with it. They're either weekly or there are daily tasks. Now, depending on what it is, they will give you experience. They'll give you XP for experience. The destination material, glimmer, or any other reward that it shows on the bounty. I highly suggest picking all of these up. Now, it doesn't mean you have to get them done right then and there, but completing them will significantly help you level up and get your light level up so you can do more end game type tasks and activities. I would pick up each one you can. Now, as you see, I picked up a bounty, and now it shows what I need to do. So as you see, I just joined a heroic event by coming in and activating by simply attacking something around the area. Well, it just turned into a heroic public event, which means it went from a standard public event to a little bit harder public event. But it's okay. Majority of the time, there will be people around that will be playing, and they will help you, and you all collectively do it together. That's why it's called a public event. Now, for the difference between a public and a heroic event, heroic public event is the rewards you get at the end. All right, heroic event completed. See what I got from that? It was purple, which purple is your legendary type. There you go. That is your legendary type of armor. That is what you want to be getting, is purple items. Now, you're going to also have your exotics, which are going to be your yellow. And we'll get more into that later, but you're able to have one exotic armor on and one exotic type of weapon on. So when you get these, you can equip them. And also, if you have the materials, you can upgrade the armor like so. It'll give you points. These points are used for your armor mods. So let's see the numbers in the right hand corner there. Let's see if I wanted more strength. Now, I could put 1 on, and it'll make it to the next tier, tier 7 or 70. I could put in a full 10, and it'll go to 75. Now, with armor mods, if you're only going to go up 1 tier, I would use the lowest available, so you can have more energy for your other mods. So for strength, I'm only going to use the minor. It brings me right to tier 7. I'll still be at tier 7 if I use the regular strength mod. So I'm going to keep it with the minor. So I save my energy for different mods. Now there are many different mods. There are energy specific. As you can see, these are for void, since this is a void type armor piece. Or you can have a reloader, or dexterity, which is how fast you are able to ready and stow the weapon that you choose. For me personally, I like reload. So I'm going to go with, since we're using a hand cannon loader. Now, if you had more energy, you'd be able to put more mods on the armor. So I'm just going to put grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a grenade. Okay. Most mods, all mods, will tell you exactly what they do. Alright guys, that concludes the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helps any of the new lights out there. I'll be making more content for you guys soon to help you guys navigate through the game. Please like if you liked the video, subscribe if you're new, and comment down below if you have any questions or anything you'd like to see in the next video. Alright guys, I hope to see you next time, and take it easy.